I don't know, man. I know I used to get games from the park.
No, I usually get everything. So
Oh, the whole package. I have to delete some stuff. I don't got a lot of space in my.
they do some like 3 things.
Yeah,
If you want those, like,
the little external thing. I thought about doing that. I haven't turned my PS5 on in like 2 months, like a month. I say. I've had a video
probably
for
what you
years.
need to do. It's a lot. And like, not like you get regular. It's like something that's real small, specific that I got regular to that.
Oh, you put the internal one. I know they got an external one, but you put the internal one.
The actual iPhone is not working as bad after. He said
Okay.
that because the reader inside there is consistently just spins,
Mhm.
it just goes bad. But the internal one is great.
Okay.
I got internal and
You got game for days. All right. Shalom, shalom. Yeah. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, and Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace, love, salutations, blessings to the house of David, which is the elect. Right, coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, right, to prophesy, all right, the coming kingdom, right, the end of this world, the end of this age, all right, as we already know, right, breaking news, you should already know, as it says in First Thessalonians, of the times and of the seasons, brethren, we have no need to write unto you, but it is our reasonable service to us to speak these things, man, because as we speak, hey, the Lord is manifesting these things into existence, right, and hey, and it's a honor to be the vessels that the Lord uses to speak the downfall of this place, man. Right, brother can hold Jeremiah 28 and 8. So now, as I was going to say, right, Israel, the state of 48ers, America, and Iran, right, are currently right at war, right, and there's been plethora of various different articles, information coming out, different places getting hit, right, different countries, getting attacked, getting involved, and as we always say, right, this is all according to prophecy, man, right. This all leads up into right that great war, right, the war of Armageddon, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, right, and ultimately the return of Yahushua, because the scripture speaks about how the Lord is going to return, right, and also fight in this third world war, which he is going to be the victor, right. It's not going to be any nations that you see currently, right, fighting that is going to win this war, man. This war is the war to end all wars, right, and as it is written, the Lord is going to return and fight as well with the host of angels and deliver his elect, right, from Babylon the Great, because America is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire, right, by way of Russia, by way of China and its allies, man. So as what we're seeing is only just prophecy coming to pass. Brother Oscar hold Ezekiel 12, whoever got Jeremiah, better. Jeremiah 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. There you go. So this is what the duty of the prophets are, man. Prophesying against countries and against great kingdom. And it is not America it was a great kingdom, but it's on a downslope now. But this place, it's prophesied from of old times to what? To be destroyed, man. Babylon, who are to be destroyed. And it says prophesied of war and of evil and of pestilence. And evil, war is an evil, meaning bad time, man. You see, and the thing is, the Lord, as you see in this place, and these people, that people are still clueless, right? They're still living in a mindset of carelessness, right? Thinking that they're secure. And that's actually a trick bag, a snare that the Lord got, America in, man. Go ahead. I think that was it on that.
Ezekiel 12.
Yep.
Ezekiel 12 and 26. Again,
the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision that he seeth is for many days to come.
Mhm.
And he prophesieth of the times that are far off.
Yeah. See, and that's how, starting with our elders and apostles, that's how a lot of, scoffers, right, were the mindset that they were in, that the things that were being spoken about, because they wasn't happening right in your face, they were saying that, oh, these things is for days, it's not going to happen in our lifetime, right? Where you're not going to see this, right? Y'all keep talking about this, but nothing's happening. But the Lord has everything for an appointed time, as the scripture says, right? In the end, the vision shall speak. And now we're living in a time where the literal words are speaking, man. That's why it's not really about breaking down, things anymore, right? We just go into current events, and it's exactly how the Lord had it lined up. So you can't really scoff at what at these prophecies anymore. You're in it. You're living it. You are a part of the manifestation of these words, these prophecies. Right?
Therefore, saying to them, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, here shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith the Lord Yahweh.
So the scriptures, the Lord said that the words is not going to be prolonged. It's not going to be to where you could say, "Oh, this is taken for a long time." What's that? 2 Peter, right? You're not going to be able to say, "Oh, y'all been saying this," because now you're at war, and you had Trump say, he did a speech and said there may be some casualties of the U.S., meaning that they know, right, what this war is about to really escalate to. They know what this is going to escalate to. Hey, remember, right? Remember back in August where you had Pete Hegseth call all of the generals and admirals to a meeting. All of them throughout the earth, brought them back and had a closed door meeting. First they had what they call it, the optics, yeah, and then they had a closed door meeting. And you got to wonder, we already knew through the spirit what was this all about, because they were saying that this never happened ever in history, where the Secretary of War gathered all of the generals and admirals to converse, right, for a meeting. So that was back in August, which is what I believe 6 months from now. Matter of fact, I don't know exactly what day. It'd be funny if it was exactly 6 months, if that was like August 28th. But I remember it was back in August that they did that, man. Which is, like I said, 6 months. Which, hey, this devil, he love using that six, right? He love using that six, which the scriptures tells you is the number of a man. Go ahead.
Oh, that was it on that.
God, there was a little bit more. Keep reading.
Keep reading into 13.
Yeah. Oh no.
So I can jump up.
Yeah.
Season.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
The effect of every vision.
Yeah. Ezekiel 12:21. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying the days are prolonged and every vision faileth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the mindset of scoffers. Well, that was right. The old mindset of scoffers, thinking that what we were saying, which is really the words of the Lord. See, this is why you can't look at what the prophets are saying as if it's their words. Yes, I'm going to say, bro.
No, I was gonna say it was just what you was mentioning. It happened on September 30th.
I'm about to say it was on September. I was about to say September. Slovakia. I mean, it's almost 6 months. But regardless, he might have announced it back in August. I think that might have been what happened. Might have announced it in August. You see? But run that back.
And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying the days are prolonged and every vision faileth?
Mm-hmm.
Tell them therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel.
There you go. So you can no longer think that what we've been speaking through the Spirit, right, was the Lord has proclaimed is not going to happen because it is happening. Like how you said with your boy, right? He said what it's not happening. You was like,
what's gonna do when it don't
yeah,
happen?
what you gonna do? And you got people that have that mindset. What you gonna do when it's not war doesn't happen? It's already happened, right? You're living it. It's current event news. Or when it talks about the economy collapsing, right? The digital system being built, all that's happening right in front of your eyes, man. But a lot of people are just what? They're docile. They're in a deep sleep. Gross darkness covers the people.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. What happened?
I don't know. I was thinking about the time before, but he said it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Hey, but that's the thing, though. You have people that were in the truth that lost patience. Okay, they lost patience because they didn't. It didn't happen when they wanted it to happen. Where's that back in Luke, where the Lord said that the slothful servant said, "Well, my Lord delayeth his coming." This is why patience is a virtue, man, as they say, as even Yahweh Shai said, "In your patience possess your souls, man." Because the Lord is not going to, for the elect, he said, I will not frustrate the patience of the saints. So he's going to give us the necessary patience and the necessary endurance, perseverance to wait. And yeah, we get, antsy, and there's times where we, asking the Lord to hurry up, but that's the spirit you're supposed to be in, man, hastening the coming. Right? I believe in Psalms, it talks about one of the Psalms was basically saying, how long shall you let the wicked endure, man? But when we see things as we see today, everybody, it's all about vantage points, man. When you of this world and you see something like this, it's to you, it's negative. It's scary, it's bad news. But for us, this is just a leap for the elect, man, going toward what, the salvation kingdom. So we're rejoicing in these things, man.
You got Psalms 37:7. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass.
Yep. So we're not fret because of this devil, man. See, we already know the end game. We already know how the movie ends. So although the Lord has it to where, because I was talking to brothers earlier, it seems as though like everybody's going against Iran, right? Everybody is condemning Iran when America in the 40 years is the one who struck first. So the world is condemning Iran for striking the different Arab countries, which they're striking the bases of America, right? But the movie ends where everybody turns on America. Now, when people look at that, they're not able to see how that's going to happen. But hey, the Lord that's why he's the mastermind of these things, man. And at the end of the day, all you got to do is just trust in the word of the Lord. And the only ones that's going to do that is who? The elect. Want to say something?
Based on what you said, that's what makes for a good story. You have those plot twists that nobody sees coming. Right now, we see it coming because we have the director's cut. But like the Zaquan said, nobody, just like this war that's going on, a lot of people don't even know what's going on. Like right now, this very moment, they have no clue what's going on. And if they heard the slightest hint of it, in their mind, it's just some politics going on in the Middle East. It's just like, oh, didn't they do that to some like Afghanistan or Iraq at some time? So they just think of it like, oh, it's just another one of those things that U.S. does when they go and bomb some other countries, and then that's it. But that's because they don't actually realize the Lord has put that veil upon them, so they don't actually realize that this is different, and that this is going to be the war that leads to them being touched here on the soils of Babylon. So just like the Zaquan was saying, the Lord does it in a way where you can't see it happening. Only except you're looking through the lens of prophecy, you'll think, no, that's impossible. The UK just said they came out and said that they're joining forces with basically joining the war against Iran. And what they're doing is they have declared war, but they're just not calling it outright war, because they know once they say that, it just makes it feel more real for people's minds about World War III. They're calling it I forgot what Trump said it was.
Major operation.
Yeah, major operations in there. Now you move all your troops and artillery over there in anticipation of a long-lasting bombing campaign. You got other nations joining in there, which is the fulfillment of prophecy about the least of the flock, drawing them out. All right. I think Canada came out in support. I think it was Australia or Austria. One of those countries also came out in support of what Babylon did. But when Russia and China and the rest of those nations start getting involved, people are going to start taking it more seriously. You know, but that's according to biblical prophecy anyway. But got it.
Got it, bro.
About to, I got the precept because they said a few days ago before this happened, they said 1/3 of the U.S. Navy is over there in that area for that what's going on right now. So you got to wonder like 1/3. I mean, that's a nice fraction.
And what the Lord said that I will remove far from you the northern army and drive them into a land barren and desolate. So where did the majority of the U.S. forces go? They ain't take them to Antarctica.
All right, I just got the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 15, and it reads, "For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head." That's self-explanatory. The recompense of what you did to the Israelites, though. Yeah, that's what the Lord really cares about. But like on top of that, He's gonna have y'all all fight each other. That's gonna be a mean recompense because like you think about it, they said it was 30 plus of those little elementary school age children, I believe all girls school, got bombed. They said it's debris falling everywhere, blowing up. It's a bunch of carnage going on, and counting. So like, they said they expected to go on for some weeks. The last year it was for 12 days, but this time, who knows how long it's going to be? And remember the things happening now. It's not going to be a cool off stage. We're coming to a time where it's hot. When something's hot, and it's going to stay hot. Man, this is a ongoing thing. They said it's going. I think Trump said it's going to be this thing is going to be heavy and ongoing.
Yeah, widespread.
Yeah, widespread and ongoing. So
And you had a lot of analysts, a lot of experts that were saying that this is actually something that America really can't win because they already bombed the Ayatollah's house. They said he dropped like 30 bombs on the shit,
I know.
but they just came out and said that he's still alive.
And the president.
Yeah, and the president. So what we really trying to do? And they were saying that how America doesn't have escalatory advantage over there. Like the first strikes was probably going to be the hardest strikes that they could do. And that's why they were saying like how they wanted to, something they wanted to make quick. So they was going to come out with full force quick. It's like a boxer where you just come out swinging haymakers. If you don't drop them within that first 30 seconds, you gassed out. and the Iranians said that they're in it for the long haul because they're fighting. They were saying that they're fighting for survival. And when you fight for survival, there's no hold bars.
Existential.
Existential, right? They were saying how the first waves of strikes that Iran did was to knock out the radars. Because they said that later, the missiles that they're going to drop, it's going to be something that you never seen. And your radars ain't going to be able to catch it because you don't got no radars. One of the guys said that they're going to, America and the Israelis, they're going to hit them with something that they're going to remember forever. So, hey, what is that in Second Esdras? The Carmanians raging in wrath, man. Because the way that it was playing out, and I sent it to brothers, the mediator of the talks, which was the Oman's foreign minister, he was basically saying that Iran, they were ready to capitulate. They were ready to give up their nuclear weapon. They said the magic 7 words multiple times. So what does it have to do? And then Trump just said, literally, I just got this text. Trump just said, "Oh, we were very close to a deal, but at the last minute, Iran backed out."
Well, you know, they said that they had already planned this attack a month ago, and the date for when they were going to do it was set weeks ago. So how are you close to a deal when Iran backed out?
Yep. And that's the things that's what's going to get this devil in the quagmire, as they like to do, because you are really being exposed for being hypocritical. You're being exposed for lying, for being blatantly deceptive, and nobody's really believing the rhetoric anymore. You see, and that is going to turn ultimately to Ezekiel the 38th chapter.
Yahoo flat. He's going to Europe now. His plane is called Wings of Zion. He's probably thinking of Revelation 12 that she was given wings of an eagle.
Going to the wilderness. Yeah.
Psalms 55 and 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant.
You got it.
So yeah, that's just like you said. You know, he come through as though he's dealing well with you. He doesn't negotiate in good faith. You know, if you negotiate in good faith, that means you sincerely come to the table and say, I want to get a deal done. I want to make this happen. But he already knows what he's going to go and do. He already got the gun cocked, you know, the sword drawn. He's ready to go. And they was already set to do it. And then boom, even though he's been talking that talk this whole week, yeah, we're going to see about these talks. The talks have been going well. That's what they've been saying, right? So where the hell did this come from? Because that was what they were going to do this shit regardless. And like you said, Iran was bending the knee in a sense. Like, listen, we're going to get rid of our nuclear. But they didn't want to be the first one to strike because then they'll look bad on the world stage. But as time goes on, this is going to escalate. And like you said, if they don't get the decapitation strike out the gate, they already lost because they did not take the regime down. And they're throwing everything they can at it. So now what? Now it's going to be a long, drawn-out war. American servicemen are going to die, okay? There's going to be a lot of bloodshed on both sides. But if you don't take Iran down, it's a loss at the end of the day. So that's really the beginning of the end of Nero's presidency, unless he pulls some shit out his ass to prolong his shit. But they talking about him being in peace over this, man. You know, because you're supposed to have a congressional authority to go to war. He didn't get no pass from Congress, so Congress is going to say "fuck you," you know, and
That's gonna cause infighting. And that right there shows you he is in a dictatorship mindset, man. How you go to war? This is the second time you did this shit. You did it with the Venezuela, and then now you just did it with Iran. And they literally just said that they were supposed to have a meeting next week. Yeah, they were supposed to. Congress is basically going to make him, come to them for which is according to your constitution. Well, he said it in the beginning. I don't know if I got to follow the Constitution. I don't know.
Talk to my, I gotta uphold the Constitution.
Yeah, uphold it.
That's strategic because if technically you're in a war now, then you are officially a wartime president, and in that things measures are different. So if he started a war and now the U.S. is in a war, before they can come and say, look, we're issuing this new whatever to limit whatever you can do, he's already saying like I'm entering a state of emergency before you can come and pull me up on whatever you want to pull me up on.
And don't let some sleeper cell something happen.
Yeah.
Because then at that point they can say like, oh, now we're under attack, so we have to declare war.
Right.
Because that's the whole shit was going on with Zelensky. The fact that Zelensky canceled elections because they were being attacked, and they were saying like, yo, you're not really a legit president. And he's like, well, I canceled it because it's a martial law state because the country got attacked. And then yesterday, Trump literally just when he was doing one of his rallies, he said, "What? Should we go for another term? I think we owed one." It's like, yo, and you can't make this up, man. Everything is being laid out right in front of you. Like, what do you think? What type of Iran was using the term? This is a banana republic right now, man. This ain't a true democracy anymore. Because what Trump is doing is setting up for you to not even have the ability to, vote anymore. The whole midterm election, if this continues, that shit gonna be done.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's only going to. He said he's the chosen one. What is he chosen to do? To bring in this new system. They just closed the Strait of Hormuz, which is 20% of the world's oil, which that is going to have an effect on people's everyday. See, that's when these Babylonians are going to wake up.
Yep.
And that's why the Lord said it's going to come upon you as a thief. Because something happens today, because you're instantly not affected, you just go on like, all right, well, everything is fine.
Right.
But then it's a trickle effect. As the brothers always mention, the dominoes in the V for Vendetta. Eventually, that last domino falls, which has got thousands in between because of that first domino. But once that first domino hit, you best believe that last domino going to fall.
Until it hits on Monday on the market.
Yep.
People gonna be out tonight, just going to get it fucked up like any other weekend.
Well, yesterday Bitcoin was dropping sharply when they heard the blast. I woke you up with that, so
Late night oil.
Yeah, this I looked it up on Google. It's called the domino effect. It says the domino effect is a combination. I'm sorry, a culminative chain reaction where one initial event triggers a series of similar, related, or connected events.
And you know what, Slot? Based on what you just said, a lot of people don't realize that vocab. Vocab right there.
Look at his beard.
That's
No, bro. Yeah, that would have been crazy.
That would have been very crazy. Yeah, I was gonna say, a lot of people don't see the
Score up these verses.
they don't see the connection, but the faster the war front moves, the faster the MOTB is gonna move.
That's right.
Because we know that has to happen first, and it tells you that when you read in Revelation 16, the sequence of events, it mentions the grievous sore upon those that took the mark, and then it goes into the Euphrates drying up and the way of the kings being made for World War III. So that sea hip, is going to be fast, because a war like that, it's only a matter of time before it escalates. Because the thing is, like, you got Russia and Ukraine, right? They've been going at it for years, but that's two parties right there. When you have a world war on this scale, where conventional warfare or sending your troops in is just like the appetizer, ultimately what they're going to do is they're going to start to use their actual weapons for war. And when one of them, just one of them, all it takes is one country to initiate it and say, I'm done with this shit. Boom, it's over. So that hour of temptation is going to be fast. All right, it's not going to be years. It's going to be intense and fast.
Yep. Okay. And we were talking on the me and brother talking, it's like, yo, with the war stuff, brothers, my video said all we need is the MOTB, because it's all gonna be happening on a simultaneous thing. It's not gonna be like the wars and rumors of wars, and then we chilling for a couple years, then motherfucking, then they brought it's all people have to see it already. But we're waiting for them to bring that reason to bring it to the masses, and it might just have to be with this war, something to include this war, or something involving whatever's going on with what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Because war brings economic downturn.
Yeah, war the bankers war.
That's what happens when you go to war. You have an economic downturn. So if you have an economic downturn, if the oil spikes, right? You already have gold spiking, and they already tell you when gold spikes, it's because investors are doing what? They're trying to move into a safe haven, right? Because regular equity markets, right, and your bonds and stocks, people don't. That's volatile during a war, right? So you go to what was always a number one commodity, gold and silver. And why you think the Lord said it in the scriptures? Your gold and silver are not going to save you. You're bringing it all, so it's circling all back around, man. It's coming all back into fruition. You see? You got, bro. You got US. Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah. Oh yeah, yes.
So again, the domino effect is a culminative chain reaction where one initial event triggers a series of similar, related, or connected events, often leading to significant, unintended, or even catastrophic consequences.
Yep. It's significant and catastrophic. And that's why the Lord said that you got to be stay upon your watchtower, man. Yep. Because how the prophecy process works is it says what initial come to pass, right? And it was fulfilled. But it takes events to lead up to that point where it's fulfilled. Right. America, you aren't going to just, wake up and then America just bomb. No, there's going to be a whole history behind it. Right. There was a whole history behind us being delivered out of Egypt. It wasn't just the night of the Passover. You see? But what people are not doing is they're not paying attention because they're asleep. That's why the scripture says, be sober, be vigilant. Sober meaning what? Being of a serious mindset, man. Right. Being watching, vigilant, it says give strict attention to. Here it is, you got people, and I got to use it. People over here taking pictures of this snowman. But if they were actually really listening and looking, they'll realize that. And it's funny because they're taking pictures of something that is actually dying. It's melting right before your eyes. But because it's still there, because it still has an allure of, oh, this looks cool, then it's like, oh, let me take a picture of it. But it's actually melting right before you. And that's what the Lord's doing with Babylon. This place is going down right before your eyes, but you're still over here. Oh, this is nice. Blah, 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 blah. America's a snowman.
Like the shit was on fire behind them, and people had their phones holding their selfies. Like
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I think they they asked AI to make a image of the end of the world, and they had people half melted, but taking
Get the fuck out of here.
taking fucking selfies. Because that's the mindset of people. But it said in the latter day, people should be lovers of themselves.
Like in Psalms 55:21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His
Yeah.
words was
And that's what Trump's talking about. He's the peace president. This thing you call I ended. Why do you think he keeps saying that? I ended 7, 8 wars. He's saying that's a repetition. You say something enough times,
Right.
you try to make it believable, make people believe it. You know, I'm the peace president. I'm the peace president. But here it is. You starting the war that's about to bring complete destruction.
Russian, his name Dmitry
Medvedev.
Medvedev. He said that the peacekeepers at it again.
Yeah. The Lord say he's making this devil a gazing stock, man. They're seeing your true colors. You're the hammer of the earth. You're the problem. And it's really at the behest of who? The 48ers. It's really them. And they already got, a stain on them. People are already hating on them for what they've been doing. And this just keep coming out more and more. But that's what this devil does. He's not going to just sit back and say, you know what? I got to reflect on my actions. I got to think. I say, no, I'm going to kill people.
Yep.
Is that not what Cain did?
Right.
When the Lord rebuked Cain, he didn't say, let me sit and reflect. That's something a righteous person would do. They would reflect on take accountability. But instead, Cain, what? He got wrong. He said, no, I'm gonna kill this guy now.
Yep.
Hey, they ain't even worse. And that's how Esau's moving. Now I'm going to war. Now I'm about to just do complete bloodshed. Because you're being exposed.
Roth is the Amalek name too.
Roth.
Yeah. But back in Psalms 55:21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than
That's exactly what you see them doing. Based on what they came out and said about how they had planned this attack months ago or weeks ago, it tells you that when they were outwardly talking about, oh, we're trying to make a deal, they never had any intention of making a deal.
Nope.
That was smoother than butter. It was to try and slip past your mental defenses, right? So you can think, oh, you know what? Maybe we can actually make this work. No, they had already decided a long time ago. And no, it's no wonder that the files came out around this time. And you more than likely had Amalek behind it, using that as a means to force their ass. Like, yo, you better move. You know,
We got some more stuff.
yeah, exactly. We're gonna make you do it if you don't do it. And that's why the scripture explicitly mentioned that the least of the flock drew them out. Because see, the Babylon, right? The rulers of Babylon, they're Edomites too. But it's Amalek, okay, the first of the nation. They're the ones who are gonna draw out everybody, which we're seeing now. They have that relentless, demonic mindset that we just and there's a spirit on them to do it. But you know what? It's for an agenda, right? And that goes back to the plan for 3 world wars. The agenda. Why is it that they're not attacking any other country? Okay, but the conflict you're seeing is between the political Zionists and the Arab world. That is how it was set up to be. Okay, that's the opposition. And then quote unquote coincidentally, you got a so-called Islamic what's his name? Mayor. Okay. So there's a lot going on. Yeah, Mamdani, madman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
And it reads, his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
So that whole rhetoric of oh yeah, we want peace. We want to do this through diplomacy. You got JD Vance saying it, Mark Rubio, Trump. It was all bullshit. It was all bullshit, man. And if you actually paid attention, you would see it's bullshit. Because what do they say? It says words were smoother than butter, but you were amassing the largest armada ever over there in the Middle East.
Right.
That's why, hey, I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, what are these fucking Iranians really thinking? Like, yo, I know the Lord brought us down. He brought y'all down too. Because if that was me, I'm just like, oh yeah, hell no, we ain't talking. Ain't nothing to talk about. Clearly, you ain't trying to talk.
Word. So he's setting up C4s in your crib. He just set up more and more while telling you as he's doing it. I mean, I think we can really talk this out. We can work out a deal.
I think the talks are going good.
We're going
Put
real
this right
good.
here.
That's what you see, right?
Over there doing it. So that already show you what it was about. They're never gonna be. That's a small hat negotiated. You think you're gonna have a fair shot with that? But yet, where they drawing swords, he's gonna rely on his blessing at the end of the day, which is the sword. Just like we relying on our blessing. We've been relying on our blessing, which is the spirit of the Lord, man. And he's gonna fall in line with what his blessing is. So the Clintons was up there with the Epstein shit. Now all of the pressure's on. All the celebrity world's getting exposed. Hollywood, the whole house is coming down. Go to war. Now everybody ain't talking about that. Now it's about Iran and how they just hit Dubai too.
Yeah. And they exposed the Bohemian Grove. These are all names of societies that you mentioned, years ago, they called you a conspiracy theorist. Literally. The second you mentioned, you got these, they get together and they run in the forest and they do all this weird shit. They're like, no, that's conspiracy theories. But you know what's crazy? The fact that it has come out now and the timing is impeccable. The timing is impeccable because now it's exposed and yet people are so nonchalant about it. They let you know they're on the island, doing all kinds of rituals, eating human meat and all that. And it's just like, hey, I saw the files. Hey, it's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. That's it. Right. They're literally performing rituals right before your eyes. But they know that the damage from the reaction of the people is less now because the people themselves are damaged. And then the Lord has them in that docile state of mind, and they're not. See, number one, people don't know. And two, they don't care. That's because the Spirit of the Lord is on them to be like that. And it isn't going to be until it's too late that then they're going to start asking questions. Then they're going to start bugging out. When it hits their swords, when they're affected. When you can't go to work, that's when reality hits. When they're telling you, look, there's a draft, and now your ass, where you going? They tell you right to the middle. You mean the same Middle East is getting bombed? Yeah, that's the same Middle East. Then it says what? The women, okay, you got it. Yeah, Sunshine?
No, to add on to your point, but you said it pretty much that essentially when it affects people, that's when they care. Because like you're saying, you're not going to care about these things happening to children if it's not your child, because obviously it's not your child.
Right.
You don't feel a connection there. But when it's your child, like let's say your child goes missing, now you're out there, oh, you know what my child is? That's when you start to feel things. Because why? It's affecting you. It's hitting home, like they say, it's hitting home personally now. So a lot of those things that happen on the island, things like that, because it's not affecting you, well, hey, I ain't the one dealing with children. Hey, it ain't affecting me. Of course they're not going to care. But if it was your child out there, because these children are somebody's children, they didn't just spawn out of nowhere. So because it's because it's not your child, of course you're not going to care. And then just that guy, what's his name? The Muslim guy, whatever.
Donnie?
No, the one that be doing them videos. That guy is challenged in Middle Nation. I forgot his name, actually. A lot of people just Epstein Jr.'s and Diddy's.
Yep.
They'll do the same thing.
2 Ezra 16, verse 33. It says, the virgins shall mourn having no bridegrooms, the women shall mourn having no husbands, their daughters shall mourn having no helpers.
And the helpers are the men. So that's why it mentions, and it makes sense why Isaiah 4:1 is going to be 7 women to 1 man. Not literally, but it's going to be the ratio of men to women is going to be fewer men and a lot more women. And why is that? Because a lot of men are going to die. Both those that are here are going to die. It's going to tell you that as we keep reading. And those that are taken over there are going to die.
Hey, and P. Hexteth already set up the mindset of they want men
Yeah.
in the army.
Word.
They want men in the army.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? You sodomites, y'all still men. you TGs, y'all still, they don't want y'all niggas. You know what I mean? They don't want y'all here. So they gonna send y'all over there. Y'all gonna be front line. Yep. And that's why it says in the Jeremiah that what they going for born to fight, man.
Yeah.
And so I think he brought up last night about the what was it? They putting t-shirts in the
toilets.
Colonel McGregor said that they're putting T-shirts in the toilet in order to stop
on the Gerald.
Yeah, on the Gerald Ford, so that you had that shitty situation with the shit all over the place. That goes to show you they're willing to be in a shit situation rather than go to war. They're like, man, fuck this. I don't want to go to war for Israel again. Fuck this. They said they went to Greece, and apparently Israel wouldn't even let them dock the ship over there. But here it is, you dying for them. Like, yo, they're just showing you like, yo, you're a fucking peasant to me. Now go to war and die.
Wasn't it something? I don't know what the chick was in the Air Force,
but it was like two of them. They was getting reprimanded for not wanting to do something for Israel. It was it was a lady. It was a military lady, and she was like, "That's genocide and some shit."
Oh yeah, I seen
You
that.
know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
She basically, they were basically going against an order to do something to help the small
They
athletes.
were pilots, I think.
Yeah.
Pilots, yeah. They were crying and shit. Yep.
Shit, yeah.
Verse 34. In the wars shall the bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish in famine.
So what time was Ezra seeing? Because in that same chapter, it goes into all the things that are happening and that are going to happen, around the world, but primarily here in Babylon. So the same country where a lot of people are comfortable thinking they're going to be okay, guess what? Their husbands, their bridegrooms, the men, they're going to be sent over there, and they're going to die. That's what we just read. They're not going to take men of the Lord because we're already on the T watch list. They got us on the do not service list. That's to take them out. So why the hell would they put us in their armies? They're not going to do that. Okay, so it ain't us they coming after. It's y'all. We got the Lord, the Spirit of the Lord with us. That's why it says that a man is going to be more precious than fine gold. Okay? Because you're going to have people having, women and men having to deal with everything, right? The elements, okay? There's that video that was circulating. You had that chick talking about if you a man and you can't protect me, in the time when all hell breaks loose, and she does jujitsu, and she could probably, choke out a lot of people. But she's saying, if you can't protect me, then what need do I have of you, right? Because that's the times we're coming into where they're going to realize that very, very painfully too. And the thing is, you're going to be mad late to the game. You're going to come mad late, thinking you got priority. Like you walk in the room and now everybody got to, speedily try to offer you help. That's not how reality works. So wait till the uncomfortability hits American soils. And that's going to be very, very, very quick. As you said about the snowman, right? It's spiritual because it captivates everybody. Meanwhile, literally right next to it, is literally the most important thing that you can hear in your life.
Real life.
Real life. They stop for an idol.
That's what it is.
On snowman.
They're idol worshipers, man.
No idol.
That's right in front of your very eyes. That's what you see going on, man.
Yeah.
And that's why the Lord is going to have this indignation upon his place, because he's like, yo, I sent my prophets. I gave the warning, and you would rather listen to something or acknowledge something that can't speak,
right?
That can't hear you, that can't think. You're over here taking a picture of that. And they said a picture's worth 1,000 words, but they ain't speaking nothing.
Flowers and shit.
It's funny because they would say, well, we're not worshiping because they think of the worshiping, you're actually bowing down and saying, oh, snow god, but like you're admiring it just the same.
Right.
You're admiring something that has no life. It's nothing, like the brother said. And then it looks stupid. That shit looks stupid, actually. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, a man just like you or whatever, a man or woman, made it just like what you are with human hands. And more likely some human hands are going to fuck that shit up eventually.
Right.
Or foot. Feet.
They'll kick that shit head off.
They'll come after you. Daniel.
They'll legit come at
Word,
you.
they be mad as hell. Crazy.
Nothing anyways, bitch.
Well, make another one, motherfucker.
Brother, I'm not has one.
I searched up worship in Google, and this is what it says. Worship is the act of showing profound reverence, adoration, and honor toward a divine being, deity, or sacred object, often involving personal devotion or common rituals. So yeah, worship is not just you bowing down, as the brother was saying.
Right. Yeah, so that's why when it mentions they that worship the beast, it's not like you're going have to necessarily bend your knees and bow down to it. But like the brother just went into, because all those traits, the honor and the having in a certain esteem, is going to cause you to want to follow whatever it tells you to do. Which that's what people are going to do in this time. They're going to go right along with the system eagerly, because they're going to think. See, when we tell them about these things, they're still thinking that this is just a hindrance in their normal life, and just like everything that happened in the past, it's going to come and go. And once it goes, where's that going to leave them? That's how they're thinking. So that's why when you tell them, look, you can't take the MOTB, they're like, well, where's that going to leave me in terms of the rest of my life, right? Am I going to stay like this? Or what am I going to do? I wanted to have kids and have a family and the white picket fences and all that. So how am I going to do that? Because they're not seeing this as the actual end. Okay, they're seeing this as a hindrance in their life that they think is going to continue on forever. But that's not the case. And by the time they realize that, it's going to be too late for a lot of people. You know, so you gotta get it right, man. You gotta get it right. Yeah. If your eyes ain't open by now, you shouldn't have any doubts in your mind where things are headed, because this isn't new. We were telling you this. We were telling you about this, starting with our elders and apostles for years at the time when Obama was president. Okay.
And they were doing that before, even then during the 80s. I mean, old president, and we wasn't even born.
Word.
But that's why the scripture says, the Lord said, what? I will put this word in my mouth and write it, for they are faithful and true. See? The word of the Lord, the Lord don't lie, man. And that's why in Romans it said, let the Most High be true and every man a liar. Okay, because right now you can only deduce that what the men that have been prophesying in the name of Yahweh Bashem al was saying, they gotta be the men of the Lord, because what they're saying is true. And that's why Trump said it. You know, there's prophets that say the world's going to end in the Middle East. You know that, right?
And he goes and starts the end.
Because in his mind, the pride has deceived him. He's trying to stop the world from ending, which is really his world, Esau's world. He's trying to stop his age from ending. So in their mind, they're thinking, we got to actually defeat the adversary. We got to take over. We got to take over these countries over here. Let the 48ers have all this land, like how Mike Huckabee said, so that we can stop and upset the prophecies and stop our age from ending. But all you're doing is falling right into that trap. You give me Jeremiah 50, where the scripture says that the Lord said what? That a snare has been laid for you, and you're caught. See, you're in a position right now that the only moves you can make is just toward your end. You can't go anywhere else. I mean, it started all the way from the beginning, but especially ever since Yahweh Shai came on the scene, which is why when he was on the cross, he said it's finished, because that started the snowball. The snowball just started from there. And it was a time appointed where it was going to escalate to a point of your end. That's why the disciples, which became apostles, they were saying what? That was the end times, the end days. But now we're in the end of the end. Whoever got it.
Jeremiah 50 and 24. I'll start from 22.
Jeremiah 50 and 22, a sound of battle.
You start from where it says
Marathon?
yeah, marathon.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
Jeremiah 50 and 21. Go up against the land of Marathon, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekod.
Yep, and marathon means what? Double bitterness, which is what America means. Martigo, which means bitter. Yeah, right? So the Lord has already pronounced. See, when you are able to decipher through the Spirit, when you're able to decipher, which the Spirit gives you, the clues in the Scriptures, it's very evident who is who in the Scriptures, man. That's why these Christians, they have these so-called Christians, right? From anti-Christians, they don't really understand that America is Babylon the Great. They don't get it. They're talking about Jesus Christ and salvation, but then they're over here speaking about, oh, God bless America. Do you not understand what the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob has pronounced against America? But that's once again because you don't have the Spirit. You can have the book, but it's like having a book that is sealed, or it's like one that can't read. That is what it's like to you. So it's really undecipherable to the majority of people. And that's why a lot of people look at the actual truth of the Scriptures as foolish words, when it's because you really can't understand and interpret what is being said. Got it, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, people don't understand the thing about salvation is that, like when you go back to the story of Exodus, when the children of Israel got delivered, they have to get saved, but then what? The Egyptians also have to go down. Somebody has to go up, and somebody has to go down. The people are going to be saved at this time as well. Somebody has to go up, meaning somebody has to be saved, but somebody also has to be destroyed as well. And that's the theme of salvation throughout the Scriptures. When you even go into the book of like Judges and things like that, It wasn't just okay, just leave the other nations alone. No, the nation of Israel has to get, raised up out of that captivity, or out of. Sorry, that's Andy. Out of from underneath that other nation. It wasn't just okay to skate on by. No, somebody has to go down. Somebody has to be punished for what they did. That's why it says in Revelation 13, 9 and 10, he that has ears, let him hear. He that lead into captivity shall go into captivity. He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. And we have been going through dealing with the captivity here. I'm sorry, this thing's like, oh, bad. Sorry. Having to deal with all the bullshit here in America, like the elder said, America meaning bitter. So what? Again, we gonna have to get the sweet because we were dealing with the bitter. But then what? We gonna have to get the sweet. For what? They had the sweet, so they're gonna have to get the bitter. That's just how it goes. There is no everything for everybody. That doesn't make any sense.
Hey, did not Yahweh Shai say that the first shall be last and the last shall be first? Well, who's first right now?
First of the nation.
Yeah, who's the first of the nations?
Over there.
Who got the fatness of the earth?
And it said,
Fuck. Go ahead. Sorry.
wow.
Yo, text him. Tell him. Oh, no, we need the number. I don't know what the number is. Yeah, it's going to text me. I'm about to speak to him. Yeah, how bad?
I was gonna say that when you look at the word maritime, it sounds just like America. America, maritime. It sounds similar.
81.
And when you look at it has 4 of the letters in America in it. America, maritime. MERA. There it is, 4 letters in the actual name America, just to show you that it is talking about America, Babylon the Great.
Hey, that's a what do they call it? A dark saying right there. You know, that's only the spirit. Did it all. Again. Only the spirit of the Lord can reveal that. You know, that's why the Lord said that He's gonna send us the Holy Spirit, and it shall teach us all things and bring all things to remembrance. Well, how many times are you gonna do it? Nah, you on the phone with 25. What?
Jeremiah 50 and 22. The sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction.
Yeah. If you over in the Middle East, right? When you woke up to hearing bombs dropping, man. That was your morning wake up. Hey, from the day before, you just going about your day regularly, and then the next day you hearing bombs drop.
They call it Operation Epic Fury.
Epic Fury. Yep.
Great rap.
Hey, the great wrath. And that wrath is only going to get more intense because you see how Trump is moving. If he don't get his way, he's like a little kid, man.
Brat.
He gets in that bratty mood. And don't let the shit happen to where there's a lot of casualties on the American side, or especially on the 48er side. They gonna wild out, man. Bro, I don't know why you keep flying.
Y'all remember that dude, Marquette Devine?
If it don't work this time,
Remember that scoffer, Marquette Devine? He's scoffing against the truth. Marquette Devine. He's like a influencer, whatever. He was in one of them countries that got hit. And he ended up doing a video like, yeah, I'm here. This is what's going on. That goes to show the Lord is on his ass too.
Oh, look at that. They came out and said it. The negotiations with Iran were aimed at misleading and preparing for an attack. Trump and Netanyahu set a date for the attack on Iran weeks ago. Gotcha. Yeah.
How can you ever negotiate with them ever again after that? How can anybody negotiate with them knowing that they do this shit every single time? They did the same shit in June. And I believe a few weeks ago, brothers covered how they did the same playbook. Like the brother said, we covered how they did the same playbook in June. You know, talking, and then boom, we hit you. See? So that's his words. You're going back to the precept, his words are smoother than oil, man. But war is in his heart. He's hell bent on destruction and death, man. hell bent on bringing that World War III in, man. And this is gonna accelerate, like with the lesson I done with the brother last night, that I went into the word catalyst, and a catalyst is something that accelerates a reaction. Okay, a catalyst is something that precedes something else happening. And this is just gonna accelerate the whole equation, the chemical reaction of prophecy. This is a catalyst to accelerate everything, man. So to broke the camel's back. So people just see events. We see prophecy. We see the Lord's hand doing it. That's the difference. That's why when we see it, we praise the Lord. People don't understand why. But people are dying like, what are yeah, but this is the Lord's will. This is what he's doing. So how can we come against who have resisted his will? At the end of the day, we're in accordance with the Lord's will. We ain't against it like you people are, man. So when war happens and people look at us like, well, y'all just happy to see this, right? You're damn right. You're damn right we're happy, man, because that's a sign of our Lord returning. That's a sign of Yahweh Shai coming back, man. It's not just war and just random events that we don't know what it means. You don't have no understanding, stupid ass. That's why when you see it, oh, it's just war, man. It's bombs, man. It's bad. No, it's the Lord's will, stupid.
Where I can attest for
Yeah, you got it.
I can attest. I got a family member, close family member. I was like, yo, man, this war stuff been going on for the longest, right? But yes, but you gotta also think about the dynamics of the war taking place now. Don't think about what happened back then. You gotta think about what's happening, why it's happening, where it's happening. You know what I'm saying? If you look at when it said the Valley of Jehoshaphat, that's where all this is taking place, and it's been going on constantly for 3 years now. About 2023, right? Since 7th October 23, October 2023. Now, I just heard somebody talking about they're declaring that they want the small heads to get reparation for what happened in October 7th or 10/7.
Yeah.
Anyway, I seen something on I see it from the New York Post. It says Israel strike on Iran largest yet with 500 targets hit. IDF says 500 targets so far. And remember, the Lord said the slain of the Lord shall be many. The way they're taking that, yeah, you had wars back then, but you know, you had to chill, you had a cool off moment. Oh, it was cool, or America would just be winning. They're not gonna just run through the Iranians like they did all these other wars back then. Like this whole thing with the nukes, the missiles, the wars and threats of wars. Not on top of that, but all the other things happening, the signs in the heavens, the signs in the earth, the uproars of the people, all this stuff is taking place on many parts of the earth right now. Same thing with Edris, so we're talking about uproars, what you said, uproars, sedition among men. We still got the shortages of food and people got to run up each other's houses. You got to think, it's going to be all anarchy in the streets where it's not going to be how it is right now. People just walking and just going about their regular life. It's going to be to the point where, like, yo, life has completely changed and it's getting pragmatic. It's going to be to the point where people going to be like, oh, damn, what the hell is going on? What's going on in the Middle East right now? That could come to America. Let's not forget the Pentagon put out to say that U.S. soil could be attacked. And it's possible that some of these other adversaries have the means to do it. North Korea, Pakistan, and a couple others. I want to say China is in the mix. China just gave Iran that, I forget what they call it, starts with a D. They gave them something and said that shit can't be intercepted. So what if Iran laid that out with this time around? Remember, it's Saturday, it took place. We still got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The days are going to keep flowing. And it's going to keep escalating. So we don't know what, remember, there's 12 days last year. So after the 12th day this year, and it's still going crazy like this, we talk about, yo, another school was bombed. Or just like, look what was happening in Palestine, that's going to be happening in Iran. And vice versa to the small heads.
Hey, Netanyahu just said, and I quote, "The operation will continue as long as necessary and calls for patience."
Patience.
So they're already in the mindset like, yeah, this ain't gonna be something that's just, quick and over, man. This is and eventually, remember, you got certain nations go to war. Other nations, especially Russia, China, they rely on Iran's oil for their economy, for their way to, for their system to operate. So if their shit gets affected, what do you think they're going to do? They think they're just going to sit idly. They already let, America take from Venezuela the oil from there. They're like, all right, now you're taking this oil. Like, no, okay, you might be attacking them, but you fucking us up.
China came out and said that.
Yeah. So eventually, they're going to have to do some counteractions, right? And you have brother was talking about. It may not even be just something about missiles. Remember, you had the DHS say that there's 1,800 undocumented people over here that's from the Middle East that could be potential sleeper cells. 1,800. So what do you think? And that can all they could use that number to lie, just do a false FLAG themselves. But it could actually very well be real sleeper cells here as well, because we're coming into those times as well, man. So you just going about your day, then you see, bam, here's something happen over downtown New York.
Come to those times.
Now it's not safe. Now you don't know where you can go.
I was just gonna say Trump in his statement, he said, we care about the Iranian people, we're, take back your country. And Brother Charlemagne, he was speaking about it, that how do you know that there ain't gonna be some extreme or worse motherfuckers that get up in there? So you just saying, here, go ahead and to another Muslim population, which you already making them more extreme by killing their people. They just hit a school of all girls school and they killed like 50, 60 women and children.
It's at 100 and something now.
Probably more now, yeah. So it's going up. So how the hell do you care about the people, but you're killing them? So then you breeding more extremists.
No, bro. That's your shit? Yo. You probably wrong stuff. You probably like, oh, fuck. Nah, I had opened it for them, but I forgot to log it. Or I don't know, maybe it was whatever. And
They got the same card.
Yeah.
Honest mistake, bro.
Yeah.
This is good.
I know you can't like, oh, sorry, brother. He's throwing that brother out quick. Sorry, brother. But hey, got it. This guy got to be on point. But the water's gonna check that out. I wasn't even looking at it. Go on there.
Jeremiah 50 and 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations?
Yeah, because even in Revelation, it tells you how these nations wandered after the beast. And they looked at it like, who can make war with the beast? 40 years ago, this would be unheard of, right? Because they said that Khamenei's been in power for 47 years. So I'm sure when they first got in power, they weren't thinking about, we're going to go to war with America. That 40 years ago, America was kind of at its heightened, point militarily. But what ended up happening? As time progressed, these weak nations are saying they're strong. They're now looking at it like, and America's getting weaker. You got a certain experts saying that America don't got enough actual missiles to go for a long war against it. The whole 12-day war stopped. It wasn't because of Iran. It was because of the 48ers. They called up America, was like, yo, we need y'all, the Iron Dome ain't so iron. It's a little tight. See? And that was before when Iran said that, we got more missiles than we had before. We got stronger ones now. So we'll see what takes place. But the thing is, we already know how it ends, man. And there may be, like a roller coaster times where lows, highs, but it's very uncanny, the timing that it happened, because as we were talking about earlier, today was a 6 planet alignment, astronomical alignment. And then on Monday, you got a blood moon. And then it's March, Mars, Iran goes into that. So they set all this up purposely, man. They planned the date. So you already see back with Epstein how they get down. They do the rituals, but it's actually interesting that a couple of weeks ago, Iran did that protest when they made an effigy of Baal,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and they burnt it up. And they also had America and they had the 48ers emblem on there.
Flag too, right?
Yeah, the flag. And that's all spiritual, man, because that is what America represents, clearly. So now we know that the elites of this world it goes into the left hand, right, and worshiping of these left-handed deities, and we know what the Lord says about these idols and the ones that worship them. What can we conclude? Now the Iranians, they also worship idols. When you go into Iran, they don't actually worship. Besides the Mecca, they don't actually. It's actually forbidden for them to make physical idols, images. They don't make physical idols, but they still worship a false god. And that's why, when it all said and done, Yahweh Shai is going to enter into this world while this is fighting to show there's only one God, the one and true living God. And we are his witnesses. That's what this is all about. He set us up to be his witnesses of the one and only true living God. The same thing during the time of Egypt. It was what? Their gods versus the God of Jacob, the God of Moses. And they came to find out, like, yeah, your guys ain't real. So you have to let us go.
And I want to say, because going back to the Iran thing, I think it was last year when they did the 12-day joint, I think they were saying, or in that time frame, they were saying that Iran has enough missiles to shoot missiles. Now, I could be butchering it, but I know it said it's enough missiles for 5 days straight to shoot for 24 hours. There was some kind of math like that. Was like they have enough missiles for some straight consecutive days to shoot it for 24 hours. So basically the whole day.
And that don't include Hezbollah. That don't include the Houthis. That don't.
Yeah.
So you got to add that and factor that in, man. So, yeah. But you got anything, Haran?
Babylon has set up all these speeches and say that they're trying to come up with a peace deal and all these different things. And so it's Israel, right? Remember how they came up with a peace deal earlier this year? And we said, yeah, it's not going to last long because Israel is going to be the one to violate that peace deal, right? And they always, why is that? Because they actually have, and I brought this out before, it's called the Kol Nidre pledge or slash oath that they always take every year. And I'm going to a little bit about it just to give you an idea because a lot of countries don't even know that this even exists, right? And it's something that these Jays actually do on a yearly basis, right? I think when we afflict ourselves for the Lord to forgive our sins, these devils pledge an oath to annul every covenant that they may make over that year or that calendar year. So if pledge a peace deal with you over that year, guess what? It's null and void. Okay, so don't even believe that. So you'll get a full So it says here, it says the alternate version of the Kol Nidre.
You opened it up?
That's Kol Nidre prayer. It's the recital of the prayer and release during the coming year from any obligation to respect each vow or pledge made during the coming year. Okay. It says like 1-year license obtained from the federal, state, or municipal governments. The altered version of the Kol Nidre prayer is also a license for 1 year only. Kol Nidre, all vows, prayer extends immunity in advance from 1 year from all obligations to observe the terms of oaths, vows, and pledges made in the year following the date of the Day of Atonement when the prayer was recited. Okay. It says each year, however, it becomes necessary to renew this license, which automatically revokes in advance, right? Revokes in advance. So when they're already going into some type of peace deal, it's already a fraudulent deal to begin with. So whoever is signing that deal along with these J's, you're already sabotaging yourself just off top. Okay, because they don't believe in that same deal that they're presenting to you. That's why Russ was saying earlier that they already had the strike already in advance, ready to go. Okay, so all this peace talk and stalling, and we're trying to work with them, and all we ask for them to stop is to denuclearize and all this. That's just all smoke and mirrors. Okay, and the prophets been warning you of these things. That listen, no matter what they say, how they say it, no matter what happens, Israel is going to bring Iran into a war, which is going to be the vortex to bring in all these major countries to accept World War III. We've been telling you that, and it's all biblical prophecy.
Okay, so you're starting to see prophecy unfold day by day, but we giving you the inside scoop of these things as they happen. The things that's mostly kept secret for years, right? You look at America right now, 2026, about to be 250 years. That started back in 1776. And how did it happen? It happened through war. So here we go again. America going right back to our ways again. War, war, war. Okay. So continue to finish it off. It says, each year, however, it becomes necessary to renew this license, which automatically revokes in advance any oath, vow, or pledge during the next 12 months by again appearing in a synagogue of Satan. All right. On the next day of atonement and reciting the Kol Nidre, which is all vows prayer again. Okay. So this is all part of they go into the Talmud and all these different things. One thing, it's very disgusting, and I don't want to go too much into that, but the Talmud is what they preach. That's what they observe. Okay, and it has nothing to do with Christianity or Judaism, as they say. When they say modern day Judaism, it's literally Talmudism. That's all it is. And until Christians, so-called Christians, wake up to that reality, we're always going to be caught in that what they call disillusionment. All right, that's what Albert Pike called it. Okay, Christianity caught in a disillusionment, and that's what you see now. All these high-level witches, Erica Kirk, and all these damn demons popping out preaching Christianity to you. Since when did they become Christians? Since when did Trump become the chosen one? God saved him from a bullet that was crushed across his ear. Like, all this theatrics, man. And we've been calling this shit out from day one. We can call conspiracy theorists. Reality, we're based in reality. Okay? We're students of reality, man. All right? And ultimately, the reality is going to catch up to America, Babylon the Great. All the folly that's going on, you got so much things that's happening now that when you compare to a few decades ago, people will be panicking. People will be panicking, man. Your country is going to war, and it wasn't get declared by Congress. That's a problem, bro. Okay? And people are just going about like, you got MAGA people, they're retreating their support. But at the same time, they're not vocalizing, they're not being vociferous, that's the word. Right? They're not vocalizing, they're yelling on the top of their lungs how they despise how the country is being run. All the promises that they were told, that's not what's happening, man. Okay? So when Trump goes into gives you a State of the Union address that tells you how you're winning and you keep winning and you're gonna keep winning, and how the president of peace, and then a few days later he goes to strike Iran. What should that tell you? Every promise that he's giving you is all bullshit, is all lies. And the reality is about to set in. The MOTV is next, right around the corner. All right, that brother's got it.
It says the Strait of Hormuz is affecting more than oil and gas. Container ships carrying everything from PlayStations to furniture are also affected. Hapag-Lloyd has suspended voyages through the strait, and analyst Lars Jensen reports multiple ships pausing or turning back, confirmed by vessel tracking data.
They go off on it.
Yep. It says things are getting very real. See, as the brother just said, we deal with reality because reality is according to the will of the Lord. You see, you dealing with, brother get Job 11 and 18 or 18 and 11, that the hope of the wicked is like giving up on the ghost. Your hope, if it isn't entrenched in the word of the Lord, then it don't matter, man. Nothing you want or I hope they don't go. You know how many people say, I hope they don't go to war? Well, guess what? What happens to that? What are you gonna say now? I hope it doesn't, get too bad. It's just you're gonna keep hoping for the wrong shit. And everything we hoping for is happening. Because as the scripture says, transform your mind into the perfect will of the Lord, man. Blessed is he who delights in the will of the Lord. Our delight is in what the Lord wants, man. Because we know ultimately, as Yahweh Shai said, it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Well, how do we get the kingdom? These things have to happen. These things must needs be. And that's why, as a brother was mentioning before, where you're always talking about how we're happy, the scripture tells you that. When you start to see these things come to pass, to do what? Lift up your head, for your redemption draweth nigh. All of this means something. It's not like we're just cynical and we just want, everything to do carnage. Nah, there's a purpose for the carnage. There's a purpose for the devastation. It's like Apocalypse said, man. Through the ashes of this world will rise a better one. And that's what that's what has to happen. This place gotta burn. This place gotta go.
It's like Thanos, and a lot of people they misunderstand because it shows you that this the directors and the people of this world they turn everything upside down because when you watch a lot of those or read a lot of those stories, they make the villain the hero and the hero the villain.
Yep.
In reality, if you actually listen to the things that the so-called villains actually say, or why they became villains or what their purpose, because they always got a purpose. For the most part, there's a reason as to why they're doing that. Right? You look at Thanos, he had a philosophy. He had an actual reason. And he's like, I'm trying to fix the world. I'm trying to bring actual peace. And half of you ninjas need to go. All right. But the way they portray it is from the perspective of the antagonist. Like they'll make a TV show with Satan as the protagonist. Damn near have you supporting Satan against Michael.
They have one. It's called Lucifer.
Yeah, Lucifer. Transform himself into an angel of light. So it's all about perspective. And that's what they use propaganda for. Propaganda is like watching a freaking reality TV show with the devil as the main character. Because when you look at it from his lens, then everything looks like he's the victim. You're supporting his story. You want him to succeed. But in actuality, he's the devil. He's the one bringing harm and danger to everybody else. So ultimately, that's what they're doing right now. They're pointing the news and everything from the angle of the perspective of the devil. So you think, oh, you know what? They're saying it's for the safety of the American people, and who believes that? So now they have to go with the angle that they're trying to gain ICBMs, and in that case, they can actually target the soils of Babylon. They did say they could reach Trump's palace. Now, if you say you can reach his palace, typically when people hear of a palace, they think of a king or a kingdom. Because Trump right now he's the king of Babylon, the cruel Lord. Got it.
I got a precept. 2 Corinthians 4, verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahushua, who is the image of God, should shine unto them.
There you go. Hey, that's a beautiful point. So how did he blind them? Well, we just gave some examples. I just gave an example. Yep.
You see? So, and our gospel was hid unto these people, but it's because they're lost. It's not because our gospel is wrong. It's not because it's of no effect. It's because they're lost.
Right.
They're blinded. And that word lost is a palome, which goes into perish. They're utterly useless. So let the multitude perish, which was born in vain. The people that's going to walk by from this and then take a picture of a melting snowman with some damn, what is that? St. Patrick paraphernalia, you obviously are born in vain. Like your obvious existence is where you just gotta just go. Because the person who took they'll walk past the person that made it and then actually look at that as it being something to be admired. But the person right next to it, they probably look, somebody has some money. It won't give the person no money, but they take a picture of the idol. That's how simple people are, man. And everything is all upside down. That's the point. Babylon, Esau, everything's all just a bunch of confusion, man. It's confusion and folly.
That's why the judgment of the Lord is going to fix that. And he's brewing it up now. This is all the workings of the Heavenly Father.
Hey.
Yahushua.
U.S. issues a worldwide caution to its citizens for fear of Iranian retaliation.
And they also said that NYPD on high alert because of that. Because why is it that they're on high alert? Because they know that they know that attacks over there warrant attacks over here. That's what they had the damn freaking who was that guy? Christopher Wray. I see flashing red lights everywhere.
Everywhere. That was 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. 3 years, and that's what they do.
Oh, he said China was burrowed deeply into America's critical infrastructure.
And China's supporting who?
And what is happening with the Iranian, all of that shit is affects China needs that oil for them, especially them. They need that shit. Because they're trying to keep up with the economy and their production.
Right.
So they're constantly, that's why they're so heavily involved in the affairs with Iran.
And
Because
their
they
AI. And their AI.
Yep.
The oil.
So they need that oil because China don't got oil. So if they got that, but then they're also burrowed deeply into America's critical infrastructure, and they're seeing America fuck up their shit, what do you think they're gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
You just had Trump came out a couple days ago and said that there was information that came out that said that China was actually involved in the 2020 rigging elections, quote unquote. Like they were basically fucking up the voting system. So it's all happening right behind a veil. But because people are asleep, they don't, all you gotta do is peek through. You're gonna see the type of madness that is happening, man. But now you just want to stay on the outside. I want to be ignorant. That's why the scripture says willful ignorance, man.
Yeah, Iran might be. I mean, they could attack the U.S. inland through China. You know, because China, a lot of them tech wizards. A lot of them mobiles, they deep into that. That's why they always competing with China when it comes to technological breakthroughs. You know, so if they're deeply embedded, and almost everything that functions here is electrical. They moved it all to the electrical grid. It's everybody. That shit is crazy. Damn. Yeah,
not even children, like saying it's not even children doing it, like.
No, it's the spirit. That's the spirit, and the Lord. That's why the Lord had us do that. That's literally a testimony against the inhabitants of this world.
And you want to know what's interesting? The brother was down there. 'Cause they're usually down there, right?
Yeah.
And I had parked here. I was walking down there. He was coming up this way, and he was talking about how like the snow was everywhere. So I'm like, yo, I can't find a spot. This was the only spot that was like basically had clear. So I was like, right next to this.
Everybody stopping over there to take a picture. For those that don't have the context, there's a snowman that somebody built in the chair right there next to us. They put a green hat on it with some green beads and a little cigar pipe thing in his mouth.
No, those are lollipops.
Those are lollipops in his mouth. Holding a Tootsie Roll. Holding flowers. And they walk by, and if they're coming from our left, they'll walk right past us, stop on the right, take a picture of it. If they're coming from the right, they're going to stop right there, take a picture, and then walk right past us. And that's the Lord showing you, right? Choose life and live. And in Sirach, it says that, right? That life and death, you know,
presented.
Yeah, it's presented, you know, and whatsoever a man liketh, that he chooses, and that's what's going to come onto you. So let's see if that picture on your phone is going to deliver you when the missiles are coming, or when there's a famine.
Shit every now and again.
You're going to come back a month from now, it's not going to be there. This is literally why the Lord stressed so much, because the same snow you're taking a picture of is the same snow we're standing on. It's the same snow you kick when you're walking. You're walking past.
Same snow you were just mad at for snow.
Oh, dude.
But that goes to show you, what is that? Get that in Jeremiah 49, that that every man is brutish.
Yeah.
Right? These people are brutish, man. This is what you call brute beasts. Like, this is exactly what that is. A dog won't even walk by and look at that shit, man. They'll look at it, pee on that shit. But here it is. You won't stop and actually take a picture to commemorate it, to memorialize it. That's what pictures are for, right? For a memorial. This place is just full of idols, man. Idol worshipers. That's why when that MOTB come, people gonna definitely take it, man.
That's the definition of something that's transient. It's temporary. It's literally going to melt, you know, and you see eternity is right next to it. The word of the Lord being preached. And the fact that you take interest in that, you know, it'd be one thing if you just see the snowman and you walking, but you got the prophets right next to it and you don't even ask nothing. You don't inquire about nothing. The word of the Lord, you see men with Bibles in their hand teaching the word, and you don't take no notice at all. It's like we don't even exist. It's like it's just an invisible force field around us. But they'll take notice of that. That's why the scripture said the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. Okay, and that idol's being moved right now. It's melting right before their eyes. It's going to be gone tomorrow.
And this is the sun. The Lord said he 10 times 1,000 brighter than the sun.
See that?
So why do you think this day gonna burn like an oven, man?
I just want to say something real quick, because, you know, so to add on what this brother was saying about like walking past the prophets, because like it's not like we're out here talking about like, you know, get your tickets to this next concert or some bullshit. Y'all hear buzzwords like Trump, you hear Iran, you hear things we talk about. It's like intellectual stuff that people that walk by, they probably would talk about it with someone else, but they see that, oh, a bunch of niggas. You know what I mean, and that's it. But what we're talking about.
No, so what do you know?
Yeah, it's like what we're talking about is like this is stuff that we're talking about, stuff that's going to impact our lives. Like we're coming to the times that all the events taking place are going to be very impactful on everyday life. Them attacking Iran today, you don't think that's going to affect tomorrow or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday?
He just gave a worldwide caution to its citizens, man. But brother can also hold Isaiah 47.
You want the
It talks
talk?
about we get that too. It talks about the carelessness, man.
Right, right.
So who got Job? We
I
get
got
Job, and then we got Job.
Okay.
I got it for-
Buddhist. So we get Job, and then we get Jeremiah.
So Job chapter is 18, verse 11, and it reads, terror shall make him afraid on every side and shall drive him to his feet.
He's got mad.
Yeah. I read it. Yeah. Job chapter 18, verse 11, it says, terror shall make him afraid on every side. No?
It's, probably
11, 18? Okay.
Yeah. The last verse.
Oh, last verse?
Yeah.
Well, Job 11 got 20 verses.
So, yep, it's that one. Man.
That one?
Mhm.
All right. So Job chapter 11, verse 20, it reads, but the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not. 19? Job chapter 11, verse 19, it says, also thou shalt lie down, and none shall make thee afraid. Yea, many shall make suit unto thee, but the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not escape, and their hope shall be as the giving up of the spirit.
So your eyes, which your the word, the eyes is like basically you being able to see right in your future, man. Right, being able to see afar off. That's gonna fail. What you got thinking is gonna happen in the next coming years, it's not gonna work. That's in Ecclesiastes. It tells you that, right? That the windows of the eyes should be darkened. It's a dark future. It's a grim future when you got your president telling its citizens a caution.
Warning is out.
This is the second month of the year. It's only been 2 months.
It's only been 2 months. 2 months already, and you see what's already happening. It said in the second part. It said what? Wait, that's the second part to that.
Job chapter 11, verse 20 says, but the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not escape, and their hope shall be as giving up the ghost.
It said they shall not escape. Right? When this destruction comes, and it's already forming, you're not gonna be able to escape from it. Where are you gonna go?
We won't go.
You think this is the safest place, but when there's no safety in the streets, when you got people ransacking, people going crazy, because Americans are already at the breaking point. It is right there. You already see the tensions boiling, and when it's a point where you can't get food readily available to you, when your prices of your oil, gas is $7-8. There are people already upset about how high rent is, how much food costs. They have less and less discretionary spending. So then what happens when the essentials cost a lot of money? They're gonna be like, yo, fuck. You ain't gonna be able to look at your pictures that you take because your phone gonna be turned off.
I was watching economics, and that's what they would talk about. They would talk about food prices. They would talk about like, yo, food prices getting off the wall. They was like, yo, I went to the grocery store and got a few items. Why the fuck is my bill like $100-some?
At least people with jobs.
Hey, make good money.
You already in the job market. They already told you that with the whole AI, that's a whole nother can of worms that people not even realizing. But it's happening every day. You just had Jack Dorsey, his company Block. They just laid off 48. I think it said 47% of the company of the employees. It said 6,000 people. Because they said and it was and they said that that's going to be the new trend, because before it was like just doing it in sections, laying off people. But it said that it actually is lowering morale amongst the companies, because people are always wondering when the next layoffs is going to come. So that he said, they were saying, the analyst was like, yeah, he's basically setting a new trend that's about to happen where they're just going to be laying off people in bulk. And he basically said he laid off people because he was using the AI, of course, and he's actually using it himself. And he realized, like, yo, the shit that this shit can do, we don't need these people. So he was like, yo, just get rid of like 6,000, like almost half of these people.
It was 10,000 people and they laid off 4,000.
It was okay. So yeah, so there was 6,000 left. Yeah, almost 50%. So you think 4,000 people, man. This is like no job. You're done. And your skill set is being taken over by AI, so you can't go somewhere else.
They said that?
That's why the guy said, the Microsoft AI CEO of AI said what? In 12 to 18 months, all white collar jobs are going to be gone.
If not all. Like, well,
What you gonna do then? You gonna have to watch the news. You ain't got nothing else to do. And you watch the news, you can't go party, you don't got no money to party, and you watch the news, it's gonna be just what? Devastation. So you're gonna be drinking, as the scripture says, you're gonna be drinking, but not with the song and bitterness, man. Cheers unemployment.
Hey, but the scripture say that was it when thy judgments are on the earth, then men are gonna learn righteousness, roughly paraphrasing. So they're gonna consider it perfectly when it comes upon them. And we say it and say it and say it, but it's getting closer and closer and closer. And we can see it. It's literally right, it's happening in real time as we see, like prophecy is speaking with us. You know, we take in turns speaking with prophecy. Because we'll be speaking and prophecy will start speaking, then we gotta tell you what prophecy is saying. Then we gotta go back to the scriptures. You know, so we're reporting, and the Lord he's working, and he's making a quick work of this place. The thing about the Lord is he sets everything on a certain time, and it doesn't matter what the world looks like. He could say, look, I had set a date for X, Y, and Z to be 2 weeks from now. And you would think, you know, according to how things look now and how they're progressing, maybe something like that could happen 3 to 6 months from now. And the Lord's like, no, the date that I said was 2 weeks from now. The events or the date the Lord set is not dictated based on the things happening before, because he already set that time from the foundation of the world. The things that are happening are just happen to be the things that are happening, right, leading up to the days of the event that the Lord has set. You know, and we're in that time, and we're not surprised because the Lord has already opened up our minds to all these things. We're not shocked. We're not afraid. We're not losing our minds. No sincere believer is afraid of what's happening when they see the news and these events. If anything, you're afraid that it's going to stop or slow down. You know?
Hey, that's how you know that the Lord put a different spirit in us. It's like with Joshua and Caleb, right? When Moses sent the 12 spies, only 10 of them came back. I mean, only 2 of them came back with a positive report. Right. The other ones were afraid. And that spirit, as scriptures tells you, that the Lord put a different spirit in those 2, right? That came back with a positive report. And this is the spirit that we had. Like, this is a positive thing. And you know it has to be a spirit, because on a fleshly level, everybody should be afraid. Right? Everybody should not want this. But we're not carnal minded. We're spiritual minded. And a spiritual mind sees afar off. Spiritual mind doesn't set their affections on things above, man. And we know that this has to happen in order for heaven to come on earth. For true peace to happen, this has to go down. You devils are not the authors of peace, man. You can't take the title of Yahushua, the Prince of Peace. Netanyahu, through this peace will come for many. Yeah, okay. We're going to see, man.
But the scriptures say that they would take peace from the earth. You know, that's their nature. So their peace is destruction. They're the son of perdition. What they see is like a Scar, right? When you look at Lion King, when Scar finally came up into power, what did his world look like?
Oh, shit.
You know, he wasn't stressed. He was out here picking his teeth with freaking bones, and everybody else is dying. And he's just chilling with his feet up and shit. The bird is in the cage talking about, yo, you don't see what's going on out here? You know, so that was his peace. Yep. There goes another one. You know? And you know what? It's gonna be like that in the reverse. You know, it's gonna be like that in the reverse when the Lord got things good for us, and this world is now suffering. You know, because everybody is so quick to stop at things that are irrelevant. That's why King Solomon said it's vanity. When you read the whole of Ecclesiastes, the reason he said this is the conclusion is because after all the experiments he did, looking at the different lifestyles, looking at different sufferings, the different things under the earth, he said the only thing I can conclude that is good for man is fear the Lord and keep his commandments. That's the only thing that's not vain. Everything else is vain. Okay, it's all vanity. And this world is built on that lifestyle, so they don't actually perceive that, and they don't see that they're caught in a snare. You know, they don't see that they're caught. Hey, the scriptures say the inhabitants of the world are caught in a snare. They're like birds caught in a gin. Okay, a gin is another way of saying a trap, and they're not going to be loose from that trap. The fowler's going to come and catch them and go and prepare them. You know?
But I just seen it said that Israel stopped exporting gas to Egypt. Well, you get that in Jeremiah.
This book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and 17, and it reads, "Every man is brutish by his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image."
Yep. Hey, get that in the NLT. They're brutish, meaning they're low level, man. And we're literally witnessing how low level people are. And that's not to say that we on some high level and exalting, but it's just like, yo, you can't, obviously, this is obvious, man. Like, this is simplicity. That's why the scripture says that fools hate knowledge. How long shall you simple ones be love simplicity? How long you gonna love it? Literally, in the midst of your country going to war, stop and take a picture of a snowman. Like, you ain't never seen a damn snowman before. Right?
It's up every time it snows.
They always come back to it.
For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. This is the NLT. The whole human race is foolish and has no knowledge. The craftsmen
Run that back.
Run that back.
They gonna stop this pace. When you run on pace, like you trying to hit a certain number. Oh shit! Like, it's like a demon. My bad. It's like a demon right there. Like, yo, like, nah, nigga, you won't stop. Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah 51:17 in the NLT. The whole human race is foolish and has no knowledge. The craftsmen are disgraced by the idols they make, for their carefully shaped works are a fraud. These idols have no breath or power.
No breath, no power, man. And you can only imagine just how the Lord is just infuriated. Because it's like, yo, people really think that, oh, the Lord, he isn't. They'll really think like, oh, God don't exist. The creator, I told you about brothers before, there's no two snowflakes that are alike ever in history of the universe, history of the earth. Every single snowflake is different. But here it is. You got people worshiping something that was made with man's hands, but actually you should be taking pictures of snow. Right. Like, they're not that. Like the snow itself is amazing. But nah. Snow, I hate this shit, but no way. But the man created the snowman. That's dope.
That man created.
But that just goes again. The man is foolish, is brutish in their knowledge, man. They'll worship, get that in Romans. They'll worship the creature more than the creator. This the idea of snow, the formation of that is a work of the Lord's wisdom. But now, you disdain actual snow, but you can do it to snow, create snowmen. That's actually good.
Yeah, it says men have sought out many inventions. So and the scriptures tell you that the Lord didn't create death. No, death came by men seeking out wicked inventions. He created life. He said, "Look, this is what I want you to do." And then the same thing when it says that say that don't say the Lord has made me sin. It's your wicked lust that leads you to temptation. You know. What's that? Rome. He said, "Worship Romans chapter 1 verse 24. Actually, let's start up at 22, 21. This is Romans 1 and 21. It says here, because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened.
They're not thankful in the actual things that the Lord created for their life to actually be sustained.
Right.
They're not thankful for the different seasons and the rain and the water, the air, none of those things. But they become vain in their own imaginations, man. And this is what America produces. This is, and it says in Sirach, not Sirach, Ecclesiastes, that there's an error that proceeds from the ruler, because that's the mind of Esau. He worships things that are created with man hands. And that's why he's going to create a whole society using AI to do so.
Right.
So the robotics. We can do the endless, the impossible. We can traverse the universe with the things that we create. One of my favorite scriptures recently, I think it's in a letter of Jeremiah. it said that the he that borroweth his own spirit. I think that might be the one in Wisdom of Solomon. Yeah, but in Jeremiah it says something to the same effect that his own spirit, they won't continue for long. Basically, the ones who create these idols, they themselves won't continue for long. So how can the things they make be gods? How can it be gods when they can't even continue for long?
It's like, how can the eternal come from the immortal, right?
Exactly. But that's the mindset of this devil, with him saying that he can exalt himself above the Most High. I can create immortality. You're not even immortal, but you can create something that can bring immortality. You don't even know 15% of the power of the brain. 15%. And you've been doing a diligent search for a very long time. You don't even know how the memory part of the brain truly works. They said what? Less than, some analysts said they've only really discovered only less than 1% of the ocean. That's crazy. So how much more of the heavens? That's why the Lord said that. If you can measure it, then I'll do away with Israel.
I got a precept for you. This is Psalms 39 and 5. You said that right now people will consider this like the most advanced in terms of technology that man has in understanding how things work. And even with the most advanced, you don't even know but a fraction of how the Lord's creation works. And this is Psalms chapter 39, verse 5. It says, "Behold, thou hast made my days as an handbreadth, and mine age is as nothing before thee. Verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity." Selah.
At his best state, man.
Shit.
And this is the basis of man.
Yep.
Who the Lord on the left-hand side really gave him knowledge. That's why it says his wisdom and knowledge is perverted him. Remember, the serpent, the Lord said he was more subtle than all of the beasts of the field. Right. And that word subtle goes into shrewd and prudent, which you could be prudent on the left-hand side. So all of these heathens, they all are on the left hand, but Esau is the most prudent on the left hand. That's why, and I did a video on it, that's why when you go into ancient idols, they all did what? They made it and then laid it with gold and silver. But when you go into robotics and AI, they also need gold and silver for it to actually work properly. Gold and so they say silver is the best conducive of electricity.
Yeah.
And then gold is basically like the sensors for the AI and the robots. So Esau, all he did was just tap into the gold and silver, the idols, on a more prudent level, low level spiritual power. But when people look at it, they are amazed at it.
Right.
They look at it like, oh my, this is crazy. They can do this, they can do that. So good. But then you're on the low. So that's why when we get the power on the right hand, you can only just imagine how much we're going to be able to do. Why do you think the Lord was able to walk on water? And with just telling Peter, yeah, come. He was able to manipulate all of that just by saying, "Yeah, just come here," or telling the sea to be still. That's all manipulation. Hey, stop. Calm down. That's all manipulation through the spirit on the right hand. Esau, I've said it before. Out of all the shit Esau's done, he still never walked on water. The Lord did that 2,000 years ago. You late. What you doing right now, man?
With Solomon, it says that the elements went against their nature to obey the Lord. Because then it describes how it said that water forgot its let's just say watering effect, and you have fire burning more fervently in water. What the fuck? What? Imagine you running from the hill, Lord lights your ass on fire, you jump in the water and you burning even hotter in there. What's going on right now?
A water fire.
That's crazy.
Like, what?
Yeah, water forgot how to put out fire. It's crazy.
The Lord said that the light go down to the bottom of the ocean and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Also the questions that
Right.
Back the day that is past.
Number eternity.
Show me the entrances and exits of death.
What do you mean?
Like, yeah, what?
I was asking about Israel.
Remember you talked about how when
Who can do that?
has passed out, like you saw God that with you talk about the pouring shit and
Right.
the pouring shit, but like you still ain't go back to that day.
Right.
That's you reviewing something that was recorded.
but you ain't go back to that day, literally that day. Like we can't go back to Saturday.
Like butterfly effect.
Yeah, because I was talking with a client, and we was talking about like, yo, you know what's crazy? You look at the time. Let's say it's 2:46 right now. Once it turns 2:47, we can't even go back to 2:46. We can't go back to 2:45 like that, and that's how you know that the time is short, because Esau has to look at the time and be like, damn, time is running short. That's why they just attacked Iran. And they were talking about the whole thing with the files coming out. How did he do? It was like, everybody was all riled up in America about that shit. Because now you had shit involving children. And then these motherfucking, now the military, these people in the military are like, yo, we're going to war for a bunch of rich pedos. That's what you're fighting for. Because Amalek was smart. They're a bunch of PDFs. I just seen some shit. They said the UK said they about to enter in the thing. UK has entered the chat. And that's the beast. And remember, now we talk about once these more NATO countries get in, Article 5. Article 5 gets on. Everybody got to get in it. And then you get Russia, you get China, you get North Korea, you get all these countries. That's World War III in itself. We're in. It's not going to be a time where they tell the world, like, yo, here, everybody, World War III has started. No, it's already started. This is the happening right now. They just attacked Iran. It's just going to be going on. It's going to be going on. Might chill for a little bit. But as of nowadays, there ain't been no cool-off factors. So all Russia, Ukraine, that's 4 years. And 4 years. And Iran, the Israel and the small hats in Palestine, that's going on 3 years. So what's up? And they've been bombing them every day. Every day it's always an attack. So it's not letting up. It's only going to get worse.
I'll just say that the Israeli media is reporting that Khamenei's been killed and his body's been recovered. But it says that it's basically it's like unreported, unconfirmed, but they're just reporting it. But as I was telling the brother, I actually saw something where the CIA agents was telling Trump that they were not too sure if they try to take out him, the next person would be better. Because they're saying that they could be a chain of command, that the next person could actually be more of a hardliner, because he could come from the IRGC, which is their army, the special army force that they have over there. So if you do kill him, it might just be somebody even worse in power. Or if that happens, that was somebody that was working with Putin and Xi Jinping. So it's not going to be to your benefit, man.
And we know, pursuant to Ezekiel the 38th chapter, we know where Russia's going. They're going to go. Russia is going to send their troops into Israel. Right? We're going to see it on the news, and we're going to be talking about it if we're still allowed to be out here speaking. But you're going to see that. And now you're going to wonder, well, how do they know exactly what else is in the scriptures? Iran by name as the Persians is literally named in the scriptures. And most people don't even know that. But that's what's going to happen. You're going to have Russia go up into the land of Israel, and they're going to be the same people to shoot missiles here on America. It's going to happen. Mark my words, you will rule.
You will rule on that.
And it's funny because they're called in the Persian Gulf.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And something, because everybody's so caught up on the action going on, the ripple effects with that closure of the Strait of Hormuz, people are going to feel that. They're going to feel that big time, man. And that's when they're going to start wondering, yo, prices are going up. Yeah, no, Sherlock. Well, what's going on? Hey, did you, 3 weeks later, 2 months later, that's when people come, hey, did you hear about Iran and they're like going to war with Israel or something like that? Bro, that started 2 months ago. You know where we are right now? But that's these people, that's them being blinded. And the Lord said in Isaiah the 6th chapter, when the question was asked, how long? It said what? Until the cities be overrun. So it makes sense why they walk around ignorantly, because until their cities are destroyed, until they're literally at the mercy of the judgment of the Lord, that's when the veil is going to be lifted. And everything is going to start coming, full circle. With a freaking, what do they call them things? That demolition, the big giant demolition balls?
Wrecking ball.
Yeah, the wrecking ball. That's going to be right at the end of the reality. When the full circle comes right back, bam, with a wrecking ball. Miley Cyrus on it.
It's like you go on a plane and you fall asleep right when you get on it, and then you wake up right when that shit starts, when you hear the fucking prepare for impact.
Right.
Wake up, you gonna wake up right at the time where it's over for you. And that's where everybody's gonna be in that unstable time, man. They're gonna be completely, what the fuck is going on? That's what happened during the 2008 financial crisis. There's people that I know that was working in a financial system. When that shit happened, they said, "Hey, yo, nobody told them. They just came to work one day and everything was just done. Their whole 401k. Dude say he lost like 70% of his 401k. Damn. He said he had coworkers that killed themselves. But that was something that was happening. It didn't just happen that one day. It was a buildup. They set it up. They took the debts and they put it into the profits. And then opened it at Paul, Dick, and Jane. They took the company's debts and they kept putting it into some shit. And then you know what that gets? He slapped him. Nothing.
Jim Carrey was saying it?
No, the other guy, the guy that was drunk.
Okay.
Because that's what happens. Yeah. You setting up a system that it says they that laid himself with thick clay. Right. You setting up a system that you are bound to lose it, man. You're bound to lose. But as long as you can just keep it going, that's what they call kicking it down the road. Well, you've done that plenty. I've done that. You kick a rock, see how many times you can kick it. But yeah, eventually you're gonna stop kicking that. Right. And you're just like, it's just there. That's it. Just walk past it. That's what they're doing with this whole setup. That's what Babylon is. But the Lord has it already for an appointed time. That's the beauty of this thing. He has set the bound that you cannot pass. And nothing you want to do is going to be able to force the hand of the Lord to make it last longer. Right. It's already been declared when this shit is going to be over. Mm-hmm. You had the prophets already seen the kingdom. Right. They've already seen the men of the Lord get crowned. That has to happen. It hasn't happened yet. That has to happen. John's seen Babylon destroyed. Right. Ezra's seen Yahushua come back. So what are you going to do to stop those things from taking place?
Hey, he saw the things that have happened before now, the things that are happening now, and the things that happen after. And in nowhere in that did he see your success. and likewise you too. When they go and look in the Project Looking Glass, it should look right back at him and say, "No, they can turn around because your kingdom is done." What they saw was Daniel the 5th chapter, except at this time Belshazzar was them. And their kingdom had been numbered, wanting greed. And that's what the Lord is doing. So they're trying everything they can, but you know what? It's a no avail. The harder you try, it's like being in quicksand. The harder you try to get out, the faster you sink into it. And that's literally the position that Esau Edom is in right now. They're trying to stay calm and force thinking that things are going according to plan, but it's not. All right, it's getting out of hand. In fact, it's already in the hand and the control of the Lord. You are in the hand and the control of the Lord. And it's only a matter of time, a short matter of time before they bring out that MOTB. You're gonna see it. It's gonna be like, damn, Lord, did you just like grab it and just throw it into reality? Like, where they came out with this shit from? But it's somehow gonna make sense. Like the Lord does that. Sometimes it's like the world is going, and then randomly, some random part of prophecy just jumps in, intervenes, and then once it's done, it just bounces. All right, I'm out. And everything goes back to except this time, it's all interconnected. I think Shalomar, you were reading that. How one thing connects and leads to another, which leads to another. And that's the plot twist the Lord has. You go in one direction and the car just does a complete U-turn on a one-way. Not a 3-point turn, a U-turn on a one-way. That's how prophecy's going to catch these people. And you ain't got your seatbelt on. So guess who's flying out the windshield?
You got something, bro?
I had a precept. Isaiah 46:9. Remember the former things of old. I am God and there is none else. I am God and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done.
Yep, and that's why going into the scriptures is the most. What president was that? That a thorough knowledge of the Bible, Roosevelt, is more valuable than a college education, man. Yep. Because you can't work outside of the parameters of the word of the Lord. Who can resist his will? You don't think Pharaoh wanted to? He couldn't. The Lord, his scriptures literally say he hardened Pharaoh's heart because he set up Pharaoh for a particular purpose, for this very same cause that I raised you up. And likewise, the Lord through Paul said that. Paul said that about who? Esau. He used the same analogy. The vessel of wrath fitted to destruction. You're already fit this way.
Right.
Yo, I did a video a couple weeks ago about action figures. When you play with action figures as a kid, you already set up who's the winner.
Right.
Who's the winner. So, yo, this is what we're going to do. I remember Saturday mornings, I'm going to get my Spider-Man, boom, set the story up. It's already set up. This action figure can't look at it like, yo, why'd you make me like this?
Yeah, word.
Nah, yo, you just got to lose today.
Every day.
And you can make it seem, I can make it seem like you going to win. You about to throw Spider-Man off the sky. Spider-Man, but eventually, somehow, like you said, a complete U-turn. Spider-Man just hop up. I thought I was winning.
You know your mind how you wanted to be.
Yep. And that's what we are in the hands of the Lord.
Right.
We're the potter. I mean, so like we're the clay. He's the potter. Who can disannul that, man? And it's as the scripture says, he already set it up from the beginning.
Right.
You already got the winner. Got it?
Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
And all of the Lord's pleasure. And it's going to be the pleasure of the Lord to take this devil out, man. It's going to be, the Lord not going to be like, oh, man, I can't believe he's so, nah. Out of all of those wicked, he set them up. That's why he said, I before they did either good or evil, I hated you.
Right.
You got set up. And this is why this devil moves the way he does. Because the elites of this world, they know that the living God doesn't fuck with them.
Right.
They know that their forefathers sought repentance and there was none found for them.
None.
So what do? I'm just going to I got to create my own blessing.
Yeah.
I got to create my own immortality.
Yeah, Esau looking like Tyrese Gibson in that video.
What more do you want from me? There's nothing you can do, man. And the fact that you got the Lord's chosen people here, and not only they're here, but they're awakened, and then they're proclaiming your downfall. That's why it says in Revelation, she was wroth with the woman, right, and went to go make war with the remnant of her seed. Because in this devil's mind, how dare you? Well, we do that because we got the power of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai with us. That's right. We got the name of the Lord, so we can do this. That's right. In boldness. Then shall that righteous man stand in great boldness. See, there's no other religion that will give us the boldness to do this, man. Right. That's why these pork chop pastors, they don't speak about the downfall of Babylon. Muslim niggas, they don't speak about this. It's only the men of the Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai that come out on the highways and byways and speak boldly about Esau going down, man. With no type of physical protection here. Right. Because we know who's on our side as what was that, Elisha? Yeah. Said unto the servant, open his eyes. They that be with us is more than that be with them.
Like I said before we started the camera rolling, no other doctrine, religion, or whatever have you, none of these other nations, let's talk about these other nations besides the Israelites, especially mainly the prophets, none of these other nations talk about they want this war to go down. Everyone said it, no matter if they like whatever they think, it's what they're saying. That's all we go by is what they're saying. They're saying we want peace, we want to negotiate, we want to talk, we want to do this, we want to do that. But the Lord said, "What? It is my determination to gather the nation." Right. You can't go against the Lord's determination. And these niggas might not want to go to war because Trump, especially Esau, they don't want to go to war. This is their kingdom. That's actually their kingdom being threatened. But these other nations, they live in deliciously with Esau's kingdom too. So now it's like, yo, what the fuck's gonna happen after this? That's the main question. It's like, where do we go from here? We go from here. We go to nuclear obliteration. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be a nuclear war. There's going to be a time where it's like, yo, someone just used a nuke. You see how Israel and America just attacked Iran? There's going to be a news clip. It's going to be first nuclear missile has been launched. So imagine that news conference. Breaking news. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
I said Russia threatened that. They said Ukraine mess around and they get a nuke dropped on them.
Well, speaking of Russia and Ukraine, a couple of days ago, a day or two ago, whatever they used, I don't know if it was the Orshanik or where the hell, Oreshenik, they said that within the last 24 hours, that 1,100 people died. And that last course of 24 hours, 1,100 Ukrainians died. So just imagine that. So imagine getting the news that, oh, just in, 2,000 U.S. military gone.
in Iran that died in a base or some shit. You feel me? That's the news we're gonna start hearing. We're gonna start hearing news where it's like, oh shit, people getting deployed more. They start implementing the draft. That's the time we coming in. You think the Lord said the slain of the Lord shall be many. Many more shall perish than be saved. The Lord said, I'm gonna slaughter the nation's armies. Indignation against the armies and the nation's armies. It's Russia got an army, America got an army, China got all they got is art. They all got armies.
And Putin said that your vampire ball is over.
Yeah.
And basically, because he knows it's all been publicized about how they be eating and cannibalizing children, doing these rituals, man. So the whole world is looking at it like, damn, like if you don't do something at this point, you complicit. You're just as wicked if you don't do something to stop what these Western elites are doing. So that's why they're like, shit, you know, at this point, they're gonna crash out. Because what else is left? When it's at that level where you have children being sacrificed and it's on the open, and you see that in the West, people really don't give a damn, this society is done. This society needs to be melted. There's nothing left. You can't reform these people. Well, you know, we're going to talk to you. And it's like, no, if that didn't shake you out of it, then there's nothing that's going to shake you out of it. You're cooked. And you're going to be cooked by a missile.
Turn the oven back on.
All right. Yep. Okay. And the fact that we've already like knew this, but now it's actually presented as evidence. The Lord said He's not gonna suffer us to dwell in the land of Egypt any longer, man. We're not going to just be sighing and crying for these abominations, and the Lord is like, yeah, whatever. Nah, there's an innocent blood that is crying out unto the Lord. There are the saints, the believers that want justice to be done. And the Lord He's all about justice. He's all about justice.
Yeah, the scripture say that you shall not cause the patience of the saints to be frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because right now Esau has the power to wear out the saints, but they that wait upon me shall renew their strength. See that? So the Lord is going. A lot is going to happen, and what seems like a month, 2 months seems like a short period of time if nothing is really happening. But when a lot is happening, time seems like it's moving slower. If your day has a lot going in it, 2 weeks go by, you feel like a lot has happened. It's like, damn, it's only been 2 weeks because of so much that's going on. So the Lord can have it to where you have, just in the span of a week, so much has happened. It felt like the longest week ever. Just like you have the days that are moving, it feels like we leave here today, it's gonna feel like 2 days from now, we back here again. Right. That's how fast time feels like it's moving. So the Lord could definitely speed these things up with these prophecies happening where you have days where now months of events are happening. Haran said that, right? You have days where months of events are happening, and he's just moving. He's moving things real quick.
Hey, the former, my bad, bro. The former minister of 48ers said that the coming weeks are going to determine the next coming decade.
Yep.
So they're already, that's the mindset that they're in. Trump said, well, I can end this, and I can keep going for a long time. Or I can end this in 2 or 3 days. The pompousness, man. His look is more stout than his fellows.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just going to say that.
Nah, it's all good. It's going to come back. Yeah. the train comes back to the station. I had a precept. Isaiah 34, verse 1. It says, Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. So you want to name it Operation Epic Fury? Let's see if you can match the Lord's fury. His fury is upon all their armies. So as the brother was speaking about, this is drawing in all nations, man. Mm-hmm. All major nations are actively watching what is going on over there in the Middle East. And that was something that was predestined, preordained from generations ago. Right. Joel saw it. Right. Multitudes in the valley of decision. What's the decision going to be? It's not going to be that America wins. It's not going to be that America is going to be made great. It's going to be made a great desolation, greatly desolate. But that is the determination. It says he has utterly destroyed them. He has delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. All of the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off of a vine, and as a falling fig off from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. So who is Idumea? That's already been explained and exposed. Edom, Esau, the tiny tops, the chief of them. But hey, you got Teman, you got Basra, you got the other dudes, which they all are in cahoots. And brother always say, you take off the tiny top, you cut the fries off the sides, you put him in some regular civilian clothes, he just a regular Jim. And it's that one particular nation, man, that the Lord got his right in crosshairs. And these other MAGA, when this shit continues to get worse, you already had these MAGA red-blooded Edomites that are really upset with America, especially Trump administration, doing all this at the behest of Israel. How much more when it gets worse? They all going to turn on them. Or you got our kids dying in this war for them. You said that there was no missiles that can attack us. So why are we over there?
Right.
They should be fighting their own wars. Why are we dying? Why is our oil at a spike? Yeah. Remember, he said it. Somebody said, is it America first or Israel first? He said it was Israel first. It was a United States congressman. It's Israel first. So you're going to have that disdain, that evil eye toward each other in your own kingdom. But then when this shit goes down, it's going to translate to the next day, and then everybody's going to be looking at you. Just like how brother made mention of Scar. Well, when Scar Canaan went down, all the hyenas was looking at him. Yeah, right. That's going to be Benjamin Netanyahu. My Christian friends of America.
That's unfolding in real time. Matter of fact, the train came back to the station, so I'm gonna make that point.
Come back.
This. Yeah, I was thinking, because you said how time is accelerating. Think about this. It's been about 12 hours since this actually went down. Started at last night. Within 12 hours, hasn't even been a full 24 hours. UK has entered the war. War has been declared. Decapitation strikes. Just to show you, because it was a buildup for weeks. We've been, really for months, we've been looking at like, damn, shit taking mad long. And now it's here. Now it's like, okay, what's next now? Now it's like, okay. But you see how much can happen in such a small amount of time. Just to show you that when things accelerate with the Lord, man, the Lord can make things happen in a very small frame of time. A lot can happen. So much can happen in such a small frame of time. And it's all according to the Lord's time, and his word doesn't go out void. It accomplishes what it was set out to do. That's pursuant to Isaiah, the 55th chapter. All right? So when the Lord brings out his word, it's going to accomplish what it's meant to do, man. And it's and in that short frame of time, that's how it's going to be with the MOTB. One day it's going to be regular. It's going to be the buildup. We're going to be hearing about it. It's going to be coming out. And then within one day, boom, it's now is the day. Everybody got to have it now. Just like we've been leading up to this, and then now is the day, boom, now it happened. MOTB, the buildup, the waiting game, everybody going to be talking about it. And then when the time comes, boom, they're going to hit you with it. It hasn't even been a full day since this shit happened, and look how much has transpired, man.
Protest outside of White House over strikes against Iran.
There you go. As we talking, like this shit that's happening right now, missiles are flying as we speaking. Literally.
You know what's crazy? In Iran, they're saying there's protests that they're cheering that this nigga's dead, because they're saying that Khamenei's dead. So you got Iranians cheering that, but then in America, they're protesting against attacking Iran. Uproars of the people. Everything's out of course, man.
And logically speaking, as like to add on what the brother's saying, as time goes on with the MOTB and it's starting to be brought to the masses, what's going to happen is, as time goes on, the MOTB gets closer and the war gets worse, and the war gets worse, and it's like a Royal Rumble. You are in a Royal Rumble, and the wrestling is like niggas wrestling, right? You have the whoever is wrestling first. The people in the back that's gonna be in the rubber are gonna be you're gonna be kick that shit. Gonna be in the gonna be in the back. Hold on. So like you had a Royal Rumble, so like the wrestlers in there that start the fight, then the people in the back they get their call. That's what's happening with the war. They're waiting to get that call. So as the MOTB gets closer, the war gets worse. The war gets worse. More people get added. And as soon as they say boom, he calls it all. Boom. That's when the big show comes.
Boom, the Lord calls us on.
Yeah. Man.
Thinking how with you know how you may be doing something, it could be whatever it is, but you used to doing certain things a certain kind of way, and then somebody shows you a better way or how it actually should be done, which is much more simple and quick and easy, and you're like, yo, that's crazy. Like I never actually thought about that, but I see how much more efficient it is. One example is like opening a banana. You know, it's really supposed to turn to the upside down, and you press the little bottom part, and then you peel it. It comes off just like that. I think monkeys open it. They don't get a freaking butcher's knife and chop off the first part and then try to peel that shit. No, peel that shit. So they know how to maneuver. But the reason I say that is, we what I do. We think about certain things in a certain kind of way, right? We're like, yo, the Lord can set things up, and this could happen and this could happen and this could lead to the MOTB, but then the Lord can show you, when you flip the banana upside down, and he's like, boom. And you just standing there like, Lord, I was 20 years of my life doing it trying to break the stem off the top. And he said, just boom, that's it. And now you're looking at it like, yo, he just did it. This thing we've been thinking about, New York City tap water, drink up, you know what I'm saying? That's an inside joke, but this thing we've been thinking about for so long. So you think, what does it all hell break loose first? Or what did they do this first? No, just like, boom, that's it. Now we did. Matter of fact, I've not said there's a label on the thing right there that says resist, which is interesting because they do, anybody that stands there and takes a picture of it does anything but, but guess what? Based on the point that I'm making, we got to resist. And the Lord is going to put his spirit on us to be able to resist.
Second Chronicles 20 verse 17. Ye shall not need to fight this battle. Set yourselves, stand ye still, and see the salvation of the Lord with you. O Judah and Jerusalem, fear not, nor be dismayed. Tomorrow go out against them, for the Lord be with you. And just going back to what the brother was saying, we don't really have to try to. We do it because that's our prophetic minds trying to see how things shape out. But we really don't need to actually try to find a way how the Lord is going to have this work. It's already, as brother read before, it's already been preordained. It's already been prescribed. So we just got to just stand still and stand firm and be patient. Because the way that's going to happen is going to happen that way, and it's never ever going to happen a different way, right? We already know the end of it. And that's the beauty of being in the truth. We know that the MOTB is going to come. We know that some people are going to, the elect are going to get victory over it. We don't know how the Lord is going to do it, how the inner workings of the divine intervention is going to work. But that's a part of the beauty of it. You don't want to go to a new movie and know every single scene. It's like, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah. Hey, I was going to add, that's what makes a man attractive, the element of mystery that he has. It's like, certain things about him, but you don't know a lot.
Even with a woman, that makes a woman attractive.
The mystique.
Yep. When they showed that the Princess Jasmine, when she was wrapped up and they showed her unwrapped. I'm wondering you see what's up underneath that. But hey, that's how brother just said, man. And all we have to do is stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Right. And everything that we're seeing happening in the present is leading unto the salvation of the Lord. And that's what we got to hold on to. That's why Yahweh Shah said that. We close it out with that. Revelation 2. Hold fast which thou hast.
The word fast means to firmly, like, not like quickly. How do you hold something quickly? It's hold it firmly.
Like fasten something. Tighten up.
Drink up.
Hey, this is the time to tighten up. Don't tighten up. Don't lighten up. You gotta tighten up.
That's it.
Because when the things get, when the world around you starts to get unstable, what's going to be your stability? You got to be upon that solid rock, man. You got it?
Revelation 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world.
Yep. And that's what that time of that decision on whether or not you're going to take that mark of the beast, take that chip, or whether or not you're going to trust in the Lord. And the Lord said, what? Those that hold fast to the word of his patience, because it takes patience. This thing is I always say, it's a marathon. You got to be able to continuously keep running, man. You may not see we see but in a marathon, you starting, especially if it's like a 26 one, you're nowhere near the end. But you know, as long as you keep running and you stay on track, you're gonna get to the end. And it's a test of endurance. And the way for you to endure is not really on your own merit. It's on, do you believe on the word of the Lord? That's what endurance is.
The captive exile hasten that he may be loose.
Yep.
Things like this happen, man. We see how much we rejoice because look what that's a sign of our faith and our patience being rewarded, man. Of course, we're gonna be happy about it. We've been prophesying about it for however long we've been in this truth, man.
Yep. And during that time, you're not gonna be able to keep yourself during the hour of temptation. Right. It don't matter how much you store it up. No matter how much water you got, you're not gonna be able to keep yourself in that time. If you don't take the charagma, you're literally cast out of society. Right. And none of us lived in a world where we wasn't a part of the system. Everything we do is all according to the system. But the mindset that we have is what? We got to be ready to be pilgrims upon the earth. And that's a mindset that really we get from holding fast to this knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the faith in the Lord. Is really, I was thinking about the other day, really what the Lord set up is really for us just to believe his word. That's it. Do you believe on the word of the Lord? And he made it to the point where he made his word flesh. So now it's you believe me? That's it. Do you believe me or not? I'm going to test you to see if you really believe me.
Which shall come upon all the world.
Thanks, Slack. I was just to add to that point, man. That's what I was meditating on. Like since this happened, like really, it's all about that belief, man. Like either you have it or you don't. And it's like, yo, it's hard to explain sometimes, but it's like, yo, your faith does get tested. There is times you question, and you be like talking to the Lord in your prayers, like Lord. But then at the end of the day, the conclusion of the matter, you fear the Lord, keep his commandments, and you think to yourself, man, this is it. There's nothing else. That's why Peter said, where else will we go, Lord? There's nothing else out here for us, man. If it isn't for this shit, I'd rather die than not serve the Lord, man.
Hey, but Paul said we'll be men most miserable.
Yep.
If you really think about it, it's like, yo, after all of the stuff we know about this world and the way it works and the society and the system, the trap that we're in, if there's no way out of it, if this isn't the truth, we're like literally fucked. Right. We're like actually fucked.
Exactly.
We're definitely be cooked. But see, that's why the Lord sent Yahushua, because even if we die, we know that He can raise us up from the dead. Right. That was the Lord's promise of that He made to our forefathers was manifested in the fact that He raised Yahushua up, and that's why you have the writings of that. His whole life, the gospel according to Matthew, according to Paul, the whole Old Testament, Him fulfilling the whole New Testament, Him fulfilling everything in the Old Testament. It all points to Him being the promise manifested. So even in the face of death, well, we know that the Lord can raise us up from the dead.
Right.
Revelation 3:10 again, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown.
There you go. So you got to hold what you have fast. And what do we have? All we have is what? Belief in his word, man. You told me to wait. I believe that. Hold that fast, that no, because that's where the crown is. The crown is in, do you believe that the Lord is going to come through? Do you believe that Yahweh Shai is going to return with all power to deliver us out of the hand of our enemy? And if you believe that, then you got the crown already. The crown, that's why Paul said it. I'm ready to be offered. I fought the fight. I finished my course. Now it's laid up for me a crown of righteousness. And they haven't, during that time, Paul didn't receive it. But as it says, this is the time where everybody that was at Hebrews 11, all they that waited, they didn't receive it in their generation. This is the time where they're going to receive that. And later, the Lord bless us to be a part of that hope, because some of us was those men, all the disciples, whoever, coming back. So there was a hope that we had back then that transformed all throughout the ages. And now this is the time. It says that in Wisdom of Solomon, that she make friends of the prophets, enter into the holy souls throughout all ages. So you got anything, Aaron? Closing words? Nope. Fine. So, we're going to close it out with that. In closing, giving all praises, honor, and glory to double honor to Apostle Noah of the Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings in the house of David, which is the elect. Repent.